In the previous video, we spoke of the approach towards public speaking. We also came to know about certain specific tips on how to build content and intent. Just to remind you as we go ahead with the videos in this course, please know that this course is intended for beginners in public speaking, irrespective of your professional background. As promised in the video, in this we shall be addressing two issues. One, what are the things that we can talk about? Two, how to bust that stress we take up on ourselves before we speak to an audience. If in the near future you get an opportunity to speak up on any topic, that is to say, you get to choose your own topic, here is what I recommend for that. Unless there is a theme of sorts declared already for the event, you can actually speak on any topic. Here are 20 such topics. Number 1, yourself. 2, your most favorite person and why. 3, your pet or favorite animal. 4, your passion. 5, your hobbies. 6, your love interest. 7, your academic goals or future plans. 8, any new product or application or service idea. 9, your dreams. 10, your parents, relatives, friends or colleagues. 11, that strange person in your life. 12, things that you're afraid of. 13, craziest thing you've ever done in your life. 14, coding and programming if that's your jam. 15, music and songs. 16, dojo, martial arts, karate, kung fu. 17, staying fit and healthy. 18, news around the world. 19, random topics on which you're really knowledgeable about. Game of Thrones, anyone? 20, just to make this an even 20, your favorite teacher on planet Earth or that person who you've had a crush on for some time now. Well, this list is not exhaustive, nor is it intended to be. You should make a list of topics and ideas that you already know about and are comfortable talking about or at least discussing about them. When you are talking for the first time, it is imperative that you keep things simple and easy with respect to content. Speaking on stage can be a nerve-wracking experience for most folks, and that too without the additional pressure of talking about an unknown topic. So, you talk about what you like. Don't worry about what people will think. Well, they're anyways going to think those things, right? So might as well not worry about it. Especially when it's your first time, talk about those things that you are super duper okay with. Next, let's talk about that pressure itself that we feel, what to do about it. How do we bust that stress that we take up upon ourselves before we speak to an audience? When we actually go up on stage, probably that spotlight shining bright right onto our face, probably those 10, 15, 20, 50, hundreds of people staring blankly at you with deadpan expressions. At that moment, our brain just freezes up. Kind of like the fight or flight situation. You've seen them. You know that same life-changing moment we've seen in movies and films when the underdog protagonist suddenly has to make this decision, which could either mean that immense defeat or a really life-changing moment. And as most stories do tell us often, most of these protagonists, the heroes, they stand and fight. So should you. Here are 10 super tips which will help you be ready, give you a fighting chance to make your mark. My goal here is to get you over that first insurmountable roadblock that you see which stops you from speaking altogether. Okay, so here goes. Number 1, know your message. I do not recommend that you memorize your speech or presentation by heart, but go ahead. If that's your thing, do go ahead. However, it is not a test of your memory. Become so comfortable with your message that you don't have to depend on memory. Break up your message into 2 or 3 different parts so as to make it easier for yourself to talk about it. If you feel that a sentence is too difficult to memorize, it may mean that you need to simplify it or break it up into smaller chunks or say the same thing in a different way. Say how you really mean to. Number 2, practice and rehearse as if you're giving a live performance. Maybe you have your trusted family or friends with you as you rehearse. They can listen to your presentation at least once or twice, boost your morale, and they could really offer some insightful helpful suggestions, which can make your content much better, more impactful, and only go ahead with someone who you completely trust. 3. If you don't want to try that, you could probably try a video recording of yourself. Now, this goes with a little bit of a caveat. Don't be too critical of yourself when you see your video recording or when you listen to yourself on that video or audio, because 99% of the time it will sound very weird. Because you're doing it for the first time, right? I remember my first time when I did that same thing to myself. I found my recorded voice so funny. But then around the 4th or the 5th time maybe when I was trying it, with a little bit of adjustment to the volume, to the way that I was breathing as I spoke, it did not feel that odd. So just give yourself some time to be okay with your own recorded voice, with the way you see yourself on a video. Number 4, please wear something which is comfortable for you. And this is also in connection with the second point, that is when you rehearse as if it's a live performance. I mean it to wear that dress, that suit, that outfit which you had planned for the D-Day. Many people dismiss this thought, as I had as well, until the day I had an important contest and I wore this new jeans and a shirt. And while I was contesting, while I was speaking, I had this long step during the speech to take, and as I took that, I almost stumbled and fell because the jeans was a little too tight for me that day. Well, obviously that zapped me out of my performance zone, and as such my performance spiraled down on that day. So be comfortable with what you wear and practice in that as well. Number 5, I almost always make it a point to arrive inside the speaking hall or room at least an hour before I am scheduled to speak up on stage. Now this gives me a couple of distinct advantages. Now what are they? 1, I get to meet folks who are coming for the first time or who themselves are too nervous, right? So we share a common bond. Plus I get to see a few friendly faces as and when I go on stage, I can look at them. Second, I almost always get a chance to go on stage, feel the environment around me, imagine the people sitting there, and rehearse when no one is there in that room, in that hall, just to get a feel of the stage, just to see how I feel when I perform. That really helps. Number 6, if you are using any technical devices like the microphone or the PPT or the slider, always check them with your own presentation for as long a time as possible. Walk around the stage, check back your voice on the microphone such that there is no echo back from the speakers, or check that slider so that you know the buttons, what do they do, and that there is enough battery in your laptop and the slider. Number 7, if you're being introduced by an MC or host of the event, then it might be a good idea to check with him or her as to how they intend to introduce you. I have neglected this often and been shocked, dismayed, and surprised far too many times. So much so, it has made me speechless. One might ask, what do I do then? Well, I take a deep breath and I act as if nothing strange has happened. And I very calmly say to whoever the MC is, for example, "Thank you, Stacy, for introducing me exactly the way I told you to." Now, this gets the audience to laugh most of the times. However, do not say that if you noticed that the introduction was truly not that good. Then just don't say anything at all. Simply begin your presentation or your speech, because there is no point in dwelling on the mistakes which cannot be undone. Number 8, remember to breathe. Those 20 seconds right before you go on stage, you're invited. Take 3 long, deep breaths. It helps calm you down, calm those jitters down, brings stability, volume to your voice, and clarity for your listeners. Number 9, stay hydrated. Drink sips of water which are not too cold, not too hot or warm, so that you can easily swallow it, you don't cough up, and you are able to speak clearly. Number 10, smile. Enjoy your time on stage. It is a phenomenal experience. For this video, that's all, folks. I hope you found some of these suggestions helpful, all of these useful, and that you have some food for thought now. In the next video, let's talk about how to structure our talks, speeches, and presentations. This is Coach Harsh, signing off.